Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Meat on the 50. Yes, it is NFL week number 16. Yes, we have picks to go over. But first, a little bit of explaining to do. Sorry, we both want to apologize for last week. I unexpectedly ran into some memory issues on the laptop. Still getting them all sorted out. We should be good to go, though. We're dropping the picks episode. We're not going to go another week without not at least dropping at least one episode for you guys. Unfortunately, my partner Brandon, right, is also having some laptop issues, some technical issues as the season starts to wind down. Why? Out of all the times, why when the season is wrapping up? But the only thing I gotta say, so you're saying there's a chance. Welcome back to another edition of Meat on the 50. Yes, it is NFL week number 16. Yes, it is time to break down and pick these games. Hi, how's it going? I am Jacob Cutler, one half of the Sports Guys, and it is just going to be me this week. Yes, in the intro, yes, we are dealing with some technical issues over here at the Sports Guys, but that is okay. It happens. It's life. We are getting it all straightened out. We are getting it all through, and we are just marching forward, marching on. So it's just going to be me this week. Nice and easy. We're going to get into some quick picks. We're going to get into some picks. They might all just be nice and quick this week just to keep everything kind of fluid, kind of rolling. We didn't get a chance to do a review episode last week, but let's quickly remind you how it did. Let's put the records up on the screen. For Brandon last week, 11-5, 1-0 on his guaranteed victory. For myself, 13-3, 1-0 on my guaranteed victory as well. Solid week of picks last week. Can't ask for much better, honestly. Overall for the season, that is going to put us at, for Brandon, 146-78. 10-5 on his guaranteed victories. For myself, 138-86. 12-3 on my guaranteed victory. Solid seasons again all the way around. Let's wipe those off the screen, and why waste any time? Let's get into it. All right, let's get the quick picks up on the screen, and then we'll get the games that matter up on the screen. But let's get the quick picks up on the screen. Starting us off. Week 16, our first quick pick. We got the 2-12 New York Giants traveling to the 7-7, struggling, turning to Michael Penix Jr., Atlanta Falcons. And both Brandon and I will be going with the Falcons this week. Michael Penix Jr. getting the job done in his debut. Our next game, we got the 12-2 Detroit rolling Motor City Lions traveling to the 4-10 Chicago Bears. Brandon and I both going with the Lions here, getting the job done. Hopefully, marching their way to solidifying that number 1 seed and that bye. They need it so badly with all these injuries. Our next game, we got the 3-11 Cleveland Browns traveling to the 6-8. Can you believe it? They still have a chance. The Cincinnati Bengals. And yes, both of us are rocking with the Bengals. We want our team, or I want my team to do it. Come on. We're getting helped out from everywhere. Okay? So we need just a little bit more help. Bengals get the job done against the Browns. Our next game, we got the 3-11 Tennessee Titans traveling to the 6-8 Indianapolis Colts. We're both going Colts here. Unfortunately, we need the Colts to lose one more time. Bill Callahan, help me out there, my friend. But I do think the Colts, and Brandon thinks the Colts get the job done there at home. Our next game, we got the 8-6 Los Angeles Rams traveling to the 4-10 New York Dumpster Fire Jets. Yeah, the Dumpster Fire Jets. What are they going to do against the Rams? Well, we both have them losing against the Rams. We're going to take the Rams here, getting the job done there in New York. And then our last quick pick game in the morning, we got the 7-7 Arizona Cardinals traveling to the 3-11 Carolina Panthers. While I do love Alabama Young, I do think Kyler Murray and the Cardinals are a much better team, and I do think that they are fighting for their playoff lives. So I do expect a solid performance from the Cardinals this week. So we're going to go Cardinals, both of us taking Cardinals, get the job done against the Panthers. Moving on to our afternoon game, we got the 3-11 New England Patriots against the 11-3 Buffalo Bills. And I mean, this one's kind of no shocker. We're rolling with the Bills, but we're not just taking the Bills. It looks like we're taking the Bills in a double guaranteed victory. Yeah, I don't know how many double guaranteed victories we had this year, but we're going a double guaranteed victory. Bills get the job done there at home. Our next game, we got the 3-11 Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to the 2-12 Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, honestly, could come down to the battle of the first pick, right? So we're going to go with the Brandon going with the Raiders. I am going with the Jags to get the job done. On the road, I do think the Jags had a good showing last week. Raiders, just pitiful. Absolutely pitiful. So we're going to go with the Jags getting the job done. Moving on, our last quick pick game of the morning. We got the 6-8 San Francisco 49ers traveling to the 6-8 Miami Dolphins. We're both going with the Niners. No shocker there. I need the Dolphins to lose. Perfect game to do it. Niners end the Dolphins' playoff hopes for me, and I'll love you forever. Our next game, moving on to our Sunday night football game. We got an 8-6 battle between the 8-6. Well, not an 8-6 battle. I mean, it's you'll see what I mean. But we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to the 6-8 Dallas Cowboys. Both of us taking the Bucs. You do not want to see the Buccaneers right now. That offense is rolling. Baker Mayfield is legit. The Buccaneers could be one of those teams that you really do not want to face in the playoffs because they're tough. They are a tough team. They're an electric team. Mike Evans, my goodness. So we're going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting the job done there on the road. And then lastly, our Monday Night Football game. We got the 5-9 New Orleans Saints against the 10-4 Green Bay Packers. No shocker here. Both of us going Packers to get the job done against a very, very, very not competitive New Orleans Saints team. But we're going the Green Bay Packers. Get the job done there at home. Boom. Easy. Wipe the quick picks off the screen. And we're going to do a little bit easier this year. Let's put the games that actually matter up on the screen. Yes, let's take a look here. Let's run it down. Let's run through it. Kicking us off for our first game that matters. Starting us off on Thursday night. Yes, we got the 9-5 Denver Donkeys traveling to the 8-6 Los Angeles Chargers of San Diego. Go Chargers, go. I mean, as a Bengals fan, we gotta have the Chargers. Chargers have got to win. Brandon, going with the Broncos. Broncos are on fire right now. Bo Nix looks like a vet out there. I mean, you couldn't tell he was a rookie, but that's what happens when you spend 20 years in college, right? It gets you ready for the NFL. For all my quarterbacks in college right now, use Bo Nix's example. It's okay if you're not ready now. Spend time in college, get better at the game, and watch what happens. You get a good coach, you're a decent quarterback, you get elevated to a good quarterback. Bo Nix absolutely balling out. Justin Herbert, on the other hand, a little bit struggling because of that injury, right? That injured ankle, but struggling a little bit. Chargers, most consistently inconsistent team in the NFL, but I need you, baby. I need you guys. Big, big, big victory. Big victory at home. Brandon taking the Broncos. I am taking the Chargers. Chargers get the job done there at home. Our next game, we got the 9-5 Houston Texans traveling to the 13-1 Kansas City Chiefs. This is a big game because of that Patrick Mahomes injury. I mean, the Texans are the second best team at getting after the quarterback. They know how to get after the quarterback, and they did it all last week. They were terrorizing the quarterback. They were terrorizing Tua last week. So this could be a very interesting game to watch for Pat's ankle, for just kind of I mean, the Texans could easily steal one here. So it should be a very interesting game. CJ Stroud, up and down season, not the best season that he wanted, right? But you still have weapons on that Texans offense, despite all the injuries that they've amassed throughout the season. But do I think it's enough to get it over the hump? I hope so. Let me tell you this. I hope so. Nothing would make me happier than back-to-back losses by the Chiefs because they got 2 tough opponents coming up. But you got to go with the better team at this stage in the game. And even with an injured Mahomes, the Chiefs are still better. So both of us are rocking with the Chiefs to get the job done. Our next game, got the 10-4 Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to the 8-5 Baltimore Ravens. And I mean, this is a classic divisional battle, right? The Ravens and Lamar Jackson have traditionally struggled against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but the Pittsburgh Steelers do not have their best weapon, George Pickens. George Pickens is the thing that makes this offense go. Without George Pickens, this offense is very mundane, very mediocre. It is really not anything special, right? But with George Pickens, it adds that electric element. Without him, very mundane offense. So this is the time for the Ravens to strike, right? That division, the AFC North division, is still up for grabs, surprisingly. But we'll see what happens here. Both of us have the Ravens getting the job done at home, getting a massive victory against the Steelers. And honestly, if the Steelers drop back-to-back games, the Ravens could easily steal that division, as crazy as that would be. So we're going to go with the Ravens here. I do think that the Steelers missing George Pickens is going to be something that kind of hampers down and could potentially just kind of end their season because it is that massive for them to have that electric of a receiver. But with the Ravens, with that being said, we got the Ravens handling business at home, getting a massive victory there in the AFC North division. Our next game, we got the, what are they? 12-2? Yep. We got the 12-2 Philadelphia Eagles traveling to the 9-5 Washington Commanders. Another big divisional battle game. Both of us going with the Eagles. Eagles, hottest team right now in the NFL. You could argue the best team in the NFL with the way that they are playing. Saquon Barkley still having his magical season. Their passing woes, as much as A.J. Brown wants to complain and argue and piss and moan, they're fine. You're doing fine in the passing game, bro. You're doing just fine. So I think he just needs to settle down a little bit. He'll get the ball when it's his time to get the ball. Having a dynamic runner like Saquon adds a little bit of a wrinkle to your offense. So, Philadelphia Eagles looking phenomenal. Washington Commanders, what an absolute stellar season of theirs. Jaden Daniels just coming out and absolutely balling. The Washington Commanders still fighting for that last playoff spot. They are still in the hunt. They got some tough games, but taking down the Eagles here, this would be a massive victory, massive upset. But I just don't see it just with the way that the Eagles are playing right now. They're all healthy. Everything's rolling. Everything is rolling. So I'm going to go with the Eagles here, getting the job done against the Commanders. Unfortunately, I do hope the Commanders can pull off the shocker. Obviously, this one is the one that I hope I'm wrong about as well. But we're going to go with the Washington Commanders not being able to get the job done against the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles get a big victory against another divisional rival. Moving on to the afternoon, we got the 12-2 Minnesota Vikings and traveling to the 8-6 Seattle Seahawks. Another massive game. Seahawks, without Geno Smith, kiss this season goodbye. Because Sam Howell, what the hell was that? Oh my gosh. That was some of the worst quarterbacking play I have ever seen in my entire life. They literally could not do a single thing. Yes, the game was close somehow, but my God. Sam Howell, wow. If Geno Smith cannot go for the Seattle Seahawks, they are done. 1,000,000%, they are done. We are both going with the Minnesota Vikings, getting the job done there on the road. Man, oh man, what a massive week of football we have ahead of us. We have we have Thursday games, Saturday games, Sunday games, Monday games. We have football all weekend long. You gotta love it. And we also have college football playoffs round 1, baby. Football all weekend long. What more could you ask for as a sports fan? What more could you ask for as a football fan? Man, oh man, what an absolute epic conclusion of the season we are set up to have. And I personally cannot wait. That's going to do it. That is going to do it for this edition of Meat on the 50. NFL week number 16 is here, baby. Bengals, we got a chance. I cannot believe it. You gave me you've just destroyed my fandom this year. Destroyed it. I just so up and down, so all over the place, but you can repay me by getting the job done, locking in, getting in the playoffs, and then doing the most incredible thing in the history of the NFL football, which is go to the Super Bowl and win, baby. One game at a time. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. One game at a time. Whoo! I normally would ask Brandon any last words, but unfortunately he is not here. So we're just going to wrap this baby up. That's going to do it for this edition of Meat on the 50. I am Jacob Cutler, one half of the sports guys. And until our week 16 review episode, Hoo day, baby. Jacob Cutler, over and out.